chasing shine bright deep inside you. When will you ever let it shine from within and cast all of your fears aside? You'll see the light. Until that day comes, be strong, we shall be there, always here beside you to make sure you're safe. But soon you'll realize that darkness and light lead to the hero's sacrifice, and side by side will bring you back to life.
Hello and welcome back to Kingdom Reviews. I'm your host, Future KeyBear. Today we begin our look at Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, released on the PSP in 2010. So, as per usual, we start off with a music video, this time set to the same mix of Simple and Clean from KH1's intro. The thing I'm kinda iffy about is that half the video uses the secret ending from KH2 Final Mix, which is, spoiler, the final climax of the game. I mean, on the one hand, we're seeing it with even less context, but on the other hand, again, spoilers. Afterwards, we see a man standing on the beach at Destiny Islands. We then transition to a scene where an old man in an organization cloak leaves what looks like Roxas on a palpu tree. Well, that's confusing. We then see Roxas lookalike here enter his Station of Awakening, because apparently that's the name for it. But we see that his heart is fractured, so a mysterious voice offers to meld his heart with theirs until his is repaired. Because that'll end well. After seeing he has his own Keyblade, we cut to the boy, Ventus, in his room relaxing in bed until he notices a meteor shower, and runs out to get a better look. On the way, he notices some sparring equipment.
I've got time to spare.
No you don't! And this is where we get the first part of our tutorial. The big thing to note here is the new command deck. This is a series of attacks and magic that would normally be attached to the now non-existent MP gauge, and now each have their own individual cooldown meter. Eventually, Ven realizes he's wasting time and continues to the ideal spot for watching the meteor shower.
Whoa! Give me a break, Aqua.
Something very familiar about all this.
Hey, Aqua. You ever wonder what stars are? Where light comes from?
I don't wonder. I know.
Oh, what are they?
They're fireflies. Fireflies that got stuck up in that big bluish black thing.
Well, they say.
That every star up there is another world.
Who told you something like that?
Yeah.
What mook made that up?
Terra.
Yep. Hard to believe there are so many worlds out there besides our own. The light is their hearts, and it's shining down on us like a million lanterns.
If that is the case, holy shit, there are a lot of worlds out there.
What? I don't get it.
In other words, they're just like you, Ven.
How? After that, Aqua, prompted by remembering that she and Terra have some sort of exam the next day, gives him and Ven each a good luck charm called a Wayfinder, aka the lucky charm Kairi gave to Sora. We then get the second half of our tutorial when Terra recommends sparring to prepare for their exam the next day. We learn about two new mechanics here. One is shot locks, where you can target one or multiple enemies, then fire a barrage of projectiles at them. The other, that we only get a vague description of, is the command board. Through this Fortune Street style board game, you can obtain new commands for your command deck and make the ones you already have stronger. And with that, our three young heroes call it a night.
That would be the last night we ever spent beneath the same stars.
Spoilers?! Meanwhile, we cut to King Mickey dealing with this Fantasia bullshit. Is that just how Yensid trains Mickey? By forcing him to relive past trauma?
I cannot shake the feeling something terrible is about to transpire.
And suddenly Terra, Aqua, and Ven's narration becomes redundant. And now we get to pick our character. Yep, in this game you have to choose between playing as Terra, who's strong but slow, Ventus, who's weaker but fast, and Aqua, who isn't particularly strong or fast, but is better at magic. Keep in mind though, you're not just choosing stats here. Each character has their own unique campaign, and if you want to see the whole story, you're going to have to play as all of them eventually. Personally, the order I recommend for the most coherency is Terra, Ven, then Aqua. The next day, our heroes stand before their teacher, Master Ericus. Birth by sleep, having Mark Hamill play a seasoned master 8 years before Star Wars. So, as it turns out, this exam is to prove if Terra and Aqua are ready for the title of Keyblade Master. So, yeah, all those times that Sora was called the Keyblade Master in the first game, no one knew what they were talking about.
But I am sure our guest, Master Xehanort, did not travel all this way to see our youngest prospects in years fall short of the mark.
Okay, if the name didn't give away the fact that he's the bad guy, that grin certainly did. So Ericus has the two fight against these orbs of light, but Xehanort melts them with darkness, causing them to go crazy and getting Ven in on the fight. So you fight these things as your chosen character with the other two alongside you.
That was unexpected.
Seriously? You're not the least bit curious about why that happened! Anyway, next Terra and Aqua are to fight each other. I would lament the fact that this fight isn't playable, but then again, there's not really supposed to be a clear winner. Also, we need to see that during this fight, Terra nearly unleashes some sort of dark power. A power that Xehanort is interested in. Unfortunately, Ericus doesn't see it that way, as due to this revelation, Aqua is named a Keyblade Master and Terra isn't. So what should have been a happy occasion has left the three very dour. And as if we needed any more indicator that Xehanort is evil, we see him have a quick word with this mysterious masked boy. Here's where we get our first split in the story. Terra goes off to be alone, but gets approached by Xehanort, who goes on about how darkness is not something to fear and that it's even necessary. And as much as I hate to agree with the villain, he's right. Meanwhile, Ericus is briefing Aqua about her duties as Keyblade Master when some sort of alarm goes off.
What happened?
I don't know. Why isn't Ven here?
He's got his own issues to deal with. Speaking of, Ven is up in his room and is confronted by the masked boy, who taunts him by speaking ill of Terra. Back with Terra and Aqua, Ericus informs them that the world seemed to be under siege by monsters called the Unversed. Unsurprisingly, these things are basically the Heartless before the Heartless were a thing. What is surprising is the fact that Unversed is actually a word. It has nothing to do with what the Unversed are, but it's a word. So Ericus sends Terra and Aqua out to deal with the issue, even telling Terra that he can use this as an opportunity for a second chance at being a Keyblade Master. An opportunity that Terra gladly accepts. On the sly, however, Ericus asks Aqua to keep an eye on Terra to make sure he doesn't fall to darkness. So Terra takes off, donning his Kamen Rider-looking armor and transforming his Keyblade into a hover bike. Damn, when's Sora gonna learn to do that? Ven, worried about what the masked boy said, does the same, his Keyblade turning into a hoverboard, and gives chase. Ericus is not pleased with this.
You have to bring him back.
So Aqua dons her armor and transforms her Keyblade into... God, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Some sort of crossbow? Well, the important thing is it flies. And lastly, your chosen character gets dimensional links with the other two. D-links, as they're called, are basically like the summons from previous games, except instead of summoning the characters, you borrow their power, getting special command decks and abilities based off the character. So that was the Land of Departure. A pretty damn good opening level. Unlike KH2's prologue that arguably took way too long to set everything up, this presented all the relevant information you need right out the gate, the scenario and the gameplay elements. Speaking of the gameplay, the sparring scene between the characters was a great way to do the tutorials. It makes sense that these characters would be reviewing this stuff before what is basically their final exam. Though I do think it would have been pretty neat to see it as an average lesson taught by Ericus. Well, that's it for this episode. Tune in next time as we walk Once Upon a Dream.